Hey everybody, it's Christine Barger, and today I'm going to talk about my experience working on Superstore during the pandemic. If you're new to my channel, please take a moment to hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and if you're already a subscriber, thanks for supporting my channel. It really means a lot to me that you support what I do and my creative ventures here on the internet. So I appreciate all of my followers and supporters. Thank you so much. And subscribers. There's whatever word we use here on YouTube. Okay, so here we go. I worked on Superstore. And if you don't know what Superstore is, it is a comedy show. It is on television. However, you can now watch it on Hulu streaming if you are a Hulu subscriber. I think also in the UK, they were talking about it being on Netflix, but I don't know if this season is on yet or not. But anyway, this is the final season of the show. And I'm sad. This show is awesome. It's very, very funny. I loved how they incorporated the pandemic and everything going on with the Superstore about this big box store and how they had to wear masks and deal with guests and this girl that I know plays a Karen on the show, doesn't want to wear a mask and it's just really cool. I also have a friend who was a lawyer on the show. I don't know. There's just a lot of people that get to work on Superstore. It's a very good show. And I was really blessed to be able to work on it as well. And I was so grateful that I got this audition from my amazing agent, Courtney at Aqua, who got me the audition, and then the amazing casting office who cast me on the show, just the amazing crew, the amazing cast, everything about it was just such an incredible experience. And I was a little bit just terrified, to be quite honest, about working during the pandemic because I'm really afraid I'm gonna get sick and I have health issues and I'm just I don't want to get sick. And I've been very, very careful about pretty much just staying home. There's been a few times that I've gone places, but I try not to be around people. And so this was gonna be kind of my first time really interacting with humans closely since all of this started. And so I was just really a little panic stricken, and they were amazing. So I get the audition, submit my self-tape. They actually asked me to redo my self-tape with some direction, and I did that. And then I got the email and I booked the job. I had to go get COVID testing over the weekend, so I went to a parking structure at Universal Studios and spit in this plastic tube, a little test tube, until it was full, and shake it up and handed it off. Found out I was COVID negative. Of course I wasn't going anywhere, but I was thank you, because waiting for test results can be stressful. Even when you think you're 100% sure that you're negative, it's still what if I'm not? So then I get to go to my wardrobe fitting, and I go to this wardrobe fitting. I'm wearing my mask. They were wearing their PPE, and they had things set up for me in a room. I went in, I changed, I came out. They took pictures of me from 3 different outfits just to see what I'm gonna wear for the show. And they take those pictures and they show them to production and they make decisions. So I wasn't sure what I was going to end up wearing, but they were really cool about me saying, this mask isn't really comfortable, or this mask, because I was wearing a mask in my scene, this one is really hard to breathe in or whatever. They made sure that I was comfortable. And then they were really great about everything sure everything looks perfect. So the pants were a little too long, so they asked permission to come in and just take a quick measurement and made sure that everything fit right, looked great. Incredible people, made me feel really comfortable and did an incredible job, and just I looked awesome. So I am done with my fitting. I go home. A couple days later I shoot. I come to set. First of all, I got a little lost at Universal. I parked fine, and I used to work at Universal, so I know the lot pretty well, because I worked there for Halloween several years, and I worked for probably 8 years as a costume character at the park. So I'm pretty familiar with the lot, and I did Ghost Whisperer back on the lot. And so I've been there a ton, but I was just I don't know where my check-in point is. For some reason, I was just really flustered. And so I came out, I'm trying to figure out where I'm supposed to go. And I finally find the person to check in with, and they're go get in the van. You're going over to COVID testing. I'm okay. So I had to get COVID tested again. So I go over in the van, and I'm I go past the facade of the Superstore, the front of the Superstore, and then I go over to the testing site, and I get tested with a rapid test. And then I had to stand out in a parking lot for 20 minutes and wait while they did my rapid test. And I'm standing out there, and Mark McKinney comes over and he introduces himself, and I was just oh my gosh, hello, you're incredible. so excited to be working with you. And I said, I promised my husband that I would like squish your head, because he did this thing on Kids in the Hall where he would like crush people's heads. So he was so sweet, such an incredible guy. He goes, do you have your phone? I was like, yeah. And he goes, here, pull your phone out. What's your husband's name? And he made a video on my phone, like from a distance, because we had a social distance, crushing my, he's like, I'm crushing your head, Jeremiah. And like, I was so like, what a kind, giving person to just suggest to do that. And I was just over the moon, and I couldn't wait. Like, I didn't even want to email my husband. I was like, I'm gonna just wait till I get home and show him. I want to see his reaction. So I was so excited to share that with him. Just what a cool group of people, right? So he introduces me to everybody. Everybody's kind of just chilling. Some of the cast, the main cast, was standing out in the parking lot waiting for the rapid test. They weren't even working that day. They just have to get tested every day. So I got to meet pretty much everybody, and they were all just the nicest people and very funny. And we were talking about like stock trading and whatever. It was great. So then I find out I am COVID negative, thankfully, so I could work. So I had to go back to the van and then go back to set, and then into my trailer. So I have a little room in a trailer, which is like kind of, if you've never seen like a honey wagon or like a trailer that people use for shooting TV and movies, it's kind of like a long camper, but it's divided up into little rooms. Some of them I think are just big rooms, but these were like little rooms. And so I had a bathroom and a mirror and like a couch and a TV and a mini fridge. And it's basically where you stay until they need you. Normally, I would go hang out and just kind of talk with people in craft services. I'm the person who loves to chat with everybody and hang out. As long as I'm good on my lines and everything, I don't need to like be focusing on learning lines. There's no changes, then I'm good. I'm just like, I'm gonna go hang out and talk to people. So I love to do that. So normally I would hang out at craft services, which is this area with table and tons of like snacks and food and drinks. But they don't have that during the pandemic. They can't do that just to be social distance. You can't just hang out with people. So I like went and got a banana, I think, from craft services, which was set up kind of like a food truck where you like tell them what you want and then like set it there and you take it, you go. And I was like, okay. And so I was kind of bummed I didn't get to like hang out with everybody, but we got to talk and hang out while we're waiting for our rapid test. So that was really cool. I got to meet everybody then. So then I'm like just chilling in my trailer, changed into my wardrobe, and then waited till I went to hair and makeup. And then I went to hair and makeup, and they were amazing, and they made me look stunning. I was just like, yeah, look at me with my beautiful makeup and my awesome bun. And which I love. I don't have a big bun today. I have a tiny bun today, but I normally have like a big fluffy bun. And so I was really like, yay, someone's doing my hair and makeup again, which is a weird feeling because, you know, you're not like, we haven't been around people for a long time. And I just take my mask off and they're like in their PPE, like doing my hair and makeup. So anyway, everybody was really great. I felt really safe. The only time I was really close to anybody, I think, was just hair and makeup. And then my scene. So I go to my trailer, wait again, and then they take me to set. And set for Superstore, so cool. It's just like a big sound stage that is, it looks like a big Superstore. Like, I didn't realize the entire store was pretty much built inside this sound stage. So it's just like navigating a real store. They're like, you know, you go over and go back by electronics is where we were, like our little holding area with our big chairs, you know, those tall chairs with your name on the back. They have those back in like the electronics area. And then the video village was nearby. And then we were shooting by the registers. So it was really cool. I was like in a store. I was like, I'm in a store right now. This is weird. And then Mark was making jokes about being in the store, and he was just so welcoming, so kind, so nice. I don't know if you guys have ever seen him in anything else, or if you haven't, like, go watch his stuff. He's so good. Follow him on social media. Like, just the nicest people work on Superstore. And the director was great. And I happen to know the editor of my episode, also great. Like, just, it was just such a great group of people. And I just felt so, like, loved and welcomed, and, like, it was great. And safe. Pandemic safe. So then we go to shoot our scene, and it's very simple. I'm pushing a cart toward the exit. I get stopped by Glenn, who's Mark's character, and then he says, like, can you take this survey? And I'm like, do I have time to take a survey? And then he's just like, no, you don't. I'm like, I work 2 jobs and have 3 little ones at home. And do you think I have time? And then he's like, you work very hard. And then I say something about, do you think Richard notices? And he says, no, he does not. And that's the scene, right? That's the scene. So then I was like, well, I'll just exit. And they're like, don't exit. Because we had to rehearse it. And they're like, don't exit, just stay there. I'm like, okay. So we block it. They check camera angles. We step out. We come back. They're ready to shoot. They're like, okay, action. So I do that. I push my card over and I stop on my mark and we do the scene. And then he says, no, he doesn't. And I'm just kind of like awkwardly staring at him because I don't know what to do. Because I was just like, well, I can't say anything else. I don't have any more lines. But the scene's over and I can't leave. So I'm just going to awkwardly stare at him. I mean, they knew they were going to cut it. But just in that moment, you're just kind of like, okay, I'm just going to stare. So we did it like twice. And then the director comes over and it's just like, so once you finish the scene, feel free to improvise. And I was like, oh, okay, thanks. Now, I know that doesn't sound like a big deal to anybody who doesn't know how the TV and film industry works. But to me, someone who understands and has done co-star roles for a long time and guest star roles and knows that improvising isn't something you often get to do as a co-star. When you have just a couple lines, generally you don't really get to do a lot of improv. You just kind of say your lines and leave for the day. You usually don't even have the cast really be nearly as welcoming or friendly or talkative like these guys were. I mean, normally you just kind of are chilling. Like for 90210, I was just like by myself, standing off to the side. They brought me in a set. I did my lines. I tried to talk to the cast for like a second and they just kind of looked at me like, who are you? And then I basically was done for the day. So like I've had some experiences where I didn't really feel like I had much real opportunity to do anything besides say that couple lines, and then I'm out, not there to make friends, not there to socialize, not there to, you just do your lines and you leave. And that's what I expected, but everyone was so just kind. Anyway, so then they were like, improvise. I was like, yes. And so then we got to improvise and it was so much fun. And I know it didn't make it into the cut, but that's fine. It was just so much fun to have that opportunity. And so I would come up and I'd say like, do you think Richard notices? And then he would say, no, he does not. And then I would go off on some sort of like, all I want is a hug and a good job. But you think I can get that? No. Is that really too much to ask? Or like, is it too much to ask? Just put the dishes in the dishwasher, and then Mark would say something hilarious like, well, at least he knows what the dishwasher is. And I said, well, I had to put a sign on it so he knew. And he's like, yeah, that sounds about right. Or something, we would like go back and forth. And we did this, I want to say like 7 times. We just kept doing it. And the director's like, okay, do it bigger, be broad, and then one point he came over, he's like, don't forget to pause at the end of the scene before the improv so we can edit it. I was like, oh, got a little too overzealous there for a second, but like, it was so much fun. So much fun. Just such an amazing opportunity to play and improvise with just this like icon of comedy and just nicest person. So it was the best experience. I just had so much fun. It happened during the pandemic, which was like the worst time in our history in a long time, in like my lifetime, probably the worst year. And I had one of the best experiences of my life during like the worst year. So I just wanted to share it with all of you. I hope that you found this entertaining. I know I was just kind of rambling on, but it was just so much. Like I really had a good time and I really wanted to be able to share with you. If you are a fan of the show, I hope that this then like reiterated to you how awesome that cast is and how much they do deserve to all be working all the time on the most amazing projects because they're just all so cool. The casting directors too. Again, so thankful to the casting, to my agent, to the cast, the crew, to the director, to the editor, to everybody, just everybody. And the sound people who I got to sound, like I had to put my microphone on myself too because they were like social distancing. Like it was crazy. Like it was also such a weird, surreal experience. But if you are thinking about being an actor or you are an actor and you're not working right now and you're like, man, I wonder what it's like to work on set. I hope that helped. I hope that it encourages all of you to keep trying and following your dreams and know that there are just some amazing opportunities that you will experience as you pursue this career. And if you're just watching because you're a fan, thanks. I appreciate you listening to my story time, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Also find me over on TikTok and Instagram, all the places, and go be a light in the world.